If we think of health as the patient, the doctor, and the hospital, we are making a big mistake. Health is a way of life. Health is about wellness. Health is about the whole of life that we are living. And that's what is needed to get rid of what do we think what is health. Health is not the physical or mental. Health is depending and depends on who are you and where are you. Who are you if you are a refugee or not, if you are occupied or not, if you are poor or not, who are your parents, if you are educated or not, if you are under occupation or not, and where are you in this world? If you are in Palestine or if you are in New York, if you are in Jabalia camp in Gaza Strip or you are in Paris, it's completely different. So we need to think of health in the broader way and the broader definition of health. And what are the determinants of health? What determines? What makes our health? Someone, as I said, may think it's the big hospital. I say to them, it's a big mistake. What makes our health, the main determinant of our health, is the environment and the context in which we live. Where do we live? What do we eat? What do we drink? How do we run our daily life and our lifestyle? So what do you expect from someone, a child, who is living in the misery of life? Is he or she are going to be healthy? They will never be healthy. So if we want to change their health, we need to focus not on building hospitals, but on changing the environment and the context in which they live, to give them the right to live. Health is about freedom. Freedom of sickness, of disease, of poverty, of need, of unemployment, of ignorance. Health is about justice. Because in medicine, when we treat patients, we treat all of them equally. Within the borders of the hospital, when you go to any hospital in Seoul here, once they are inside the hospital, all of the patients are equal. And we treat them with respect, with the privacy, with equality, wishing them to be cured and healed. We don't design a treatment to these patients according to name, ethnicity, religion, or background. It's the diagnosis and the disease is the determinant factor for what type of a treatment are we going to give. So that's why, as I said, health is about freedom, about justice, about equality, about dignity and the privacy in this world. And that's why it can be an engine for the journey to peace in this world, not only in Palestine, it's in this world. Medicine that I practiced has one face, it has one culture, it has one value. It's a human face, value and culture. It's about saving life and giving life. And no one like healthcare professionals who value life. We value life because we know how hard are we working to save one's life. and in a time someone else to come in a second to put an end to someone's life. Because saving one's life, you save the world. Killing one, you kill the world. As a Palestinian, that I am proud of, a Palestinian refugee, and we need to understand what is the meaning of being a refugee. A refugee, we need to ask, number one, what made this refugee to become a refugee? Not to take it and to pass over it just in a superficial way. This means this refugee one day has a land, has a home, and overnight lost that home by force. With all the suffering of being a refugee, in the time we see it, the dignity is violated. And once the dignity of anyone is violated, what do we expect? Of course, violence and conflict. That's why violence and conflict in this world, it's not a symptom. It's a disease, and it's a result. It's a result of what? As I said, violating the dignity of the people in this world. That's why the people are sick in this world. Why? Because they are exposed to poverty and injustice. It's a result. And we need to ask, not to blame someone who is violent or sick or full of hatred or fear. Why do you hate? Hatred, as I said, it's a disease. We need to ask ourselves, what did we do to make someone to hate others? What did we do to make someone violent? Always ask 5 times why. In that way, you reach a diagnosis, and you can put an end to the disease. I was the first Palestinian doctor to practice medicine in an Israeli hospital. I started it in early 1990s during the first Intifada. During that time, the Israelis, they used to see Palestinians as workers, as servants working for them. It's time. It's time to see Palestinians as a human, as equal, as skilled as they are, and that Palestinians are advocates of human rights and they value life. I believed in it. I did it, and I was proud of it. As a gynecologist, the happiest moment in my life when I handled the baby to his mother. The cry of the newborn baby is a cry of hope. A new life is coming. And there is no difference between the newborn Palestinians or non-Palestinians, the Muslim, the Jewish, the Christian, the Druze, anyone. All of them are similar and equal. When we treat all patients within the borders of the hospital, all of them are equal. And that's the message. Why not to treat people equally outside? Doctors and healthcare professionals are messengers of humanity. And what do we call peace in this world, which is missing? As a Palestinian, that my life was a war. My life was a war as if I was born just to suffer in this world. Until now, millions of Palestinians and non-Palestinians in this world, they are suffering the same as I suffered as a child. I was, as a child, that I never tasted or knew what is the meaning of being a child. Just to face the misery of life, the suffering, the deprivation, the abject poverty. As a Palestinian, and most of Palestinian people, they were fighting on daily basis. For what? Just to survive. To live that day. They are not sure about tomorrow. To secure their vital needs of that day. And many of them, they sleep hungry, thirsty, deprived of the vital needs in this world. My suffering as a Palestinian, I wasn't born with. And I should not live with it. It was man-made. And the suffering in this world, if we started to look around, to ask and to learn, the suffering in this world is man-made. It's not from God. I am a person with faith, as a Muslim, as a believer. I fully believe everything from God is for good. And God is there to help us, to support us. What is bad in this world is man-made. And I can say to you, that's the hope in this world. It's a hope. I can't challenge God, but I can challenge man-made suffering. And that's the determination, that's the hope. I said to myself, and our parents, they said, they will never accept the misery of life. And we have to take responsibility of challenging this man-made suffering, of not accepting it. And what can we do?